You're in a relationship, but you feel that something is off. Your instinct tells you something is strange. She is very reserved when you ask questions about her past or casually mention other men's names in a normal conversation. If you're looking for a trustworthy relationship, you might be falling into a trap, but I will help you avoid that today. If you want to know if she has had multiple sexual partners, just look for some signs. These 10 signs will give you direct clues about how she lived her past. Remember, it's not about judging but finding the right partner who won't play with your feelings and will commit to a long-term relationship. So stay with us until the end of the video and find out if it's worth starting a relationship with a woman or if you should simply cut ties as soon as possible. Number 1. She feels very comfortable with physical intimacy. Your first intimate moment with her was concerning rather than amazing. Yes, you expected it to be amazing, but it ended up being unexpectedly intense. She might feel very at ease and bold with physical intimacy, which could indicate she has had many previous experiences. If you are confused, let me explain instead of you taking the first step. If she initiates like a pro, it could be a sign she has experience. She doesn't shy away from hugs and kisses, but is open to more advanced or even strange moves, accepting everything you propose. If your instinct tells you she has a lot of experience with physical intimacy, it could be a sign you shouldn't ignore. However, you shouldn't jump to conclusions. She might naturally be more expressive and talented in bed, so you should also pay attention to other signs to ensure she is the right partner for you. Number 2. She avoids emotional closeness. Sometimes a man, no matter how strong he is, feels emotionally vulnerable and will seek his partner to fill that void. A spiritual connection and emotional support are important in a relationship, as they help couples get through tough times together. But what if your partner doesn't respond to your need for an emotional connection? A woman who has had multiple sexual partners usually exhibits this behavior and avoids emotional closeness. How do you know if she is really avoiding emotional connection? If you try to have a deep conversation and she seems to prefer light chats, quickly changes the subject, or avoids talking about feelings, she might be avoiding emotional intimacy. If you feel that your efforts are in vain, it might be time to stop trying. However, it could also be a sign that she is more reserved or has been emotionally hurt before. Maybe you should give her a bit more time before making a decision. Number 3. She tells vague or inconsistent stories. An important sign that she might have had multiple sexual partners in the past is inconsistencies in her stories after months together. If you still can't say for sure that she has clearly shared her past with you, and the things she shares are vague or inconsistent, it could be a sign. For example, she might tell you one story one day and a different one the next. These inconsistencies can include mentioning names of more than one guy, talking about a long-term ex and then saying she never had a serious relationship, or describing a hobby shared with a previous partner that doesn't match her current interests. It's important to remember that not everyone likes to relive old relationships. Some people might prefer to focus on the present with you. However, if her vagueness or inconsistencies make you feel insecure or suspicious, it's worth exploring gently. What can you do in this situation? Have a serious conversation with her about this topic and ask her to clarify her past. If she is genuinely interested in a relationship, her reaction will be more satisfying than her words. If she opens up honestly and fills in the gaps with warmth and clarity, that's a great sign. But if she continues presenting an inconsistent story, it might indicate you should part ways with her before she plays with you. Remember, you should never rush into making this kind of decision. Relationships require a combination of time and open communication. Give enough time and see if her story seems to become more nebulous over time, or if she starts sharing her past more clearly after building trust in you. Number 4. She frequently changes plans at the last minute. Has she canceled plans at the last moment more often? These fluctuations can be more frustrating than the stock market have You ever wondered why this keeps happening? It's understandable if plans are cancelled for obvious reasons once or twice, but if this happens repeatedly, there's definitely something wrong. Also note that she always provides vague reasons for these cancellations. She might say a last-minute meeting came up, but surprise meetings don't happen that often, or she might mention a friend coming to town, but is very careful not to reveal the identity of this friend. You shouldn't let her play with you like this. Clearly she is prioritizing something over the relationship with you, and that's a sign that cannot be ignored. It's important to remember that we all have busy lives and things can come up unexpectedly. Maybe she has a demanding job with unpredictable schedules, or a close friend going through a tough time who needs her support. However, if these last-minute cancellations are becoming a habit and you feel excluded or unimportant, it's worth having a conversation. Again, communication is key. Here, approach her calmly and ask why she's in canceling plans repeatedly. Make it clear that this is unacceptable to you and resolve things together. Number 5. She frequently compares you to previous partners. A woman entering a relationship for the first time will never compare you to someone else because you are all she knows. However, if she has had multiple partners in the past, it's likely that she will compare you to her ex-boyfriends at some point, voluntarily or involuntarily. How do you know if she compares you to her ex-boyfriends? She might mention that the steak you cooked at home is better than what she used to enjoy with her ex, or talk about how an ex loved a certain activity that you never suggested. During an argument, she might compare your flaws to those of her ex-boyfriend. These comparisons, no matter how subtle, can make you feel insecure. The important thing is that these comparisons are not your fault. A person who has spent time with multiple partners will end up comparing them at some point. You need to let her know that she can't play with you like that. If she regularly compares you to other men, simply end the relationship and make it clear that you are not just another guy. Number 6. She is very secretive about phone use. Your partner's phone suddenly becomes her most precious possession. When she's around you, she makes sure to keep it face down, quickly changes the screen, or becomes extremely secretive when answering calls in your presence. This behavior can be suspicious and make you wonder if she's hiding something. The reasons for keeping her phone away from you can vary. She might still be in contact with some of her ex-boyfriends, or just want to ensure you don't have access to her message history or images from her past. When you ask to see her phone, she might get dramatic, interpreting it as a lack of trust on your part. This can put you in a difficult position where you can't ask about her phone anymore. Before jumping to a conclusion, you should consider that there can always be a different story or logical explanation for this. Everyone deserves some privacy, and some people might simply be very protective of their personal space. Maybe she has work conversations she doesn't want to discuss, or values her alone time for browsing. However, if the relationship is strong enough, there will come a time when the couple doesn't need to hide their phones from each other. Give it time to see if she changes over time. Otherwise, you will be fully justified in ending the relationship. After confirming her phone activities. Number 7. She is very conscious of her physical appearance. In addition to being secretive with the phone, she can be very conscious of both her own appearance and yours. She can spend significant time grooming herself, constantly checking her reflection, or frequently complimenting others' appearances, while taking pride in her own. While caring about appearance is healthy, it can also be a sign that she has been with other attractive men in the past and now believes that focusing on physical appearance is somehow relevant to her sexual history. Being overly focused on her own appearance or others can indicate that she is more interested in what's on the outside than what's on the inside. In extreme cases, she may even compare her physical appearance to that of an ex or any random person she sees on her phone. If instead of talking to you about things that require emotional depth, she spends time comparing herself to others, you have the Write to ask why even after a serious discussion on this topic. If she doesn't stop these superficial conversations, make it clear that it makes you feel insecure and that she should stop, otherwise it would be better to part ways before it's too late to make a decision. Just remember that some people are naturally more image conscious, so even if she acts this way but her history is very clear to you, it just means it's part of her personality. And she needs to accept who she is. Number 8. She shows a lack of interest in discussing sexual health. Talking about sex can be awkward, but it's an extremely important topic. Especially when it comes to sexual health, it's crucial for every couple to discuss this because it ensures both are on the same page regarding safe sexual practices and creates a space for open communication about their sexual desires and needs. What happens if she is never interested in discussing sexual health? This could mean she is hiding something, leaving you wondering what it could be. Her lack of interest in discussing sexual health may be related to her past. Having multiple partners means she may be more prone to sexually transmitted infections, and the fact that she could also transmit them to you might make her want to stay silent on the topic. Another factor is that she may not want to be judged for her previous sexual history or the contraceptive method she may be using. However, sexual health must be discussed at all costs for the sake of both parties and to get stronger clues about whether she has had multiple partners before or not. Therefore, take a direct approach and make it clear that these topics need to be discussed or the relationship cannot continue. If she gets scared but starts answering your questions, that could be a good sign. But if she becomes defensive and starts giving vague answers, then she's becoming more difficult, making it easier for you to make the tough decision to leave her. Number 9. She avoids introducing you to her friends. Meeting your partner's friends is a big step, as it's an opportunity to connect with important people in her life and be introduced to her social circle. But what if your partner seems hesitant or avoids introducing you to her friends? She may keep making excuses or change the subject whenever you bring up the topic. This is a very direct sign that she may be hiding something important from you. When a woman has a genuine relationship with you, she would want to introduce you to everyone. Only when there is a risk of something bigger happening, she tries to avoid introducing you to friends. She may be afraid that a friend who knows her past may reveal information about her sexual history, or the possibility that she had a relationship with one of those friends before and did not want to mention that to you. Therefore, even when you ask about her friends, she changes the subject or dismisses the conversation playfully. This can leave you confused or even make you feel silly because it seems like she doesn't even consider you worthy enough to talk about her friends. No matter what reason for hiding friends, you cannot let that go through. Perhaps directly communicating with some of her friends can give you a better understanding of who she is, or just talking directly to her, as if this conversation would decide whether the relationship can continue or needs to end there. Number 10. Her priorities change and exclude you. When we enter a relationship, our partner becomes one of the most important people to us. They become a priority. This is how psychology works. So if she makes you feel excluded, or if her priorities do not include you and you continue to be relegated to the end of the list, it simply means she still has other people who are attracting her attention. Although sometimes it may seem that there are genuine reasons for her priorities, it may not always be so. For example, she may start spending all her free time with new friends, neglecting the plans you made together, or prioritizing hobbies that make you feel excluded. This will give you an idea if her priorities are real, or if you are simply not a priority for her at this time. If you have noticed many other signs along with this, then it is clear that she had multiple sexual partners before. Remember, it's not about judging her, but your ability to accept that or not. If this is too much for you, then it's time to say goodbye. You should never rush to reach a conclusion. If you notice some signs, there could always B. Another explanation. My advice is to give the relationship some time, learn more about her and ensure if she can be a good partner for you or not. At the same time, never settle for less than you deserve. If you are looking for a long-term relationship with a deeper connection, never give a chance to someone who is just playing. Remember, you are a man of great value. And in summary, we have seen that being in a relationship where your instinct tells you something is wrong can be distressing. This guide presents signs that may indicate if your partner has had multiple sexual partners in the past, helping to clarify your doubts and make informed decisions about the continuation of the relationship. These signs, when combined, provide a comprehensive view of her behavior and the potential impact on your relationship. First and foremost, observe if she feels overly comfortable with physical intimacy from the start, which may indicate previous experience. Also pay attention if she avoids emotional closeness or if stories about her past are vague or inconsistent. These attitudes may suggest that she is hiding important parts of her life. Another important sign is frequent last-minute plan changes, especially if the excuses are vague, indicating that you may not be a priority. If she often compares you to ex-partners, this can undermine your self-esteem and reveal that she is still attached to previous relationships. Also watch her behavior with her phone. If she hides the device or avoids using it in your presence, she may be hiding something. Excessive concern about her appearance or yours can also be indicative, reflecting a superficial emphasis influenced by past relationships. Another crucial aspect is her disinterest in discussing sexual health, which may signal that she is hiding infections or details of her sexual history. Additionally, do not ignore if she avoids introducing you to her friends, as this may mean there are aspects of her past she does not want to reveal. Lastly, if her priorities change and you find yourself being excluded, it may indicate that others still hold her attention. Ultimately, all these signs should be considered carefully and without hasty judgments. Relationships are complex and require open and honest communication. If many of these signs are present, it's important to have frank conversations to better understand her past and intentions. Most importantly, ensure you do not settle for less than you deserve. Seek a partner who is committed to a serious relationship and respects your feelings. Always remember that you are a person of great value and deserve someone who values and respects that. I sincerely hope this message has been helpful to you. Thank you for watching the video until the end. Your dedication to seeking a healthy and genuine relationship is admirable. If you like the content, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more valuable tips. Leave a comment with the phrase "I deserve the best" to show that you've made it this far and are committed to building genuine and lasting relationships. Thank you for your attention and see you in our next video.